My name's Naomi and I'm the deputy head of the British School of Sophia. It's an international school with over 40 nationalities. As well as the leader in the school, I'm also a teacher in the classroom with children aged 15 to 18. I have a son who's 9 years old, a husband, and the school has over 300 children and their families. So I'm part of a huge community here.
Yes, exactly. Naomi, when I was trying to remember when we met, it's a very concrete period because my daughter was born about a year. She will be 14 this year. So we know each other for 13 years now. And somehow through these topics of teaching with empathy, we have been together for all these years of growth and expansion of British School of Sophia. What do you remember from the time we met?
Actually, I also remember it very vividly because this was the beginning of my teaching experience and career. And the owner of the school, Miss Theodora, she organized this training with you. We had a lot of different trainings, but this one seemed interesting because it was about emotions, as she presented it, and empathy. And I remember thinking at the time, I know what's empathy. This is to understand other people, and I'm very good at it. And then when we started the session, I remember your positive aura, first of all, your warmth, and I said, oh, this is going to be very nice. And I felt calm, relaxed, and you drew on the flip chart a hill, and you were talking about good communication. And on the one side was one person, and on the other side was another person. And you explained that no matter how much these people talk, if there is a hill in the middle, the communication isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And,
I don't remember this hill, but if you remember
it was very beautiful and very beautifully drawn. And you said very important to get the other person or to have successful communication, don't keep shouting. Don't keep shouting over the hill, come to see my point of view, come to see my point of view. Instead, go to their side, see first their side of or opinion or ideas, and lead them onto the other side. And actually, I realize now that I held this with me all the way through.
Very nice. I don't remember actually. Yeah. I usually use a different metaphor, but maybe with your training, I tried the hill, and then it remains with you. Yeah.
And now very much I realize that the art of listening is really important. First to hear the other person, because until they're heard, you can't fully either bring them to your understanding or reach some mutual ground. So really this was in the perfect time at the beginning of a career in teaching and later in leading. It really helped me.
Do you consider yourself as a teacher who somehow embraced empathy in your style of teaching and connecting with children?
Absolutely. For example, I can say that the content of what I teach as English literature is secondary. First, very important is to understand where all the students are coming from. And just last week I was talking with one of my colleagues and I explained to her what's important in our role as a teacher. It's not to fill their minds with information. It's to see in every child that in their behavior or what they may say to you, behind there is something else. And it may be, for example, some argument at home before they came to school. It could be some disagreement with a friend. It could be some insecurities. And to always have this in mind that from this outward display of maybe attitude, I'm working with teenagers, it happens, that normally there is really some need that isn't being met. And in this need not being met, maybe they didn't have a good start to the day, some disagreements, that this overflow of emotion is coming. This helps a lot to not then react.
Because I've seen you in school, and even now when we were coming to sit here, there were all these students coming to speak to you. It always makes a good impression on me that they're well connected with you and they can come up with their questions or their concerns. Maybe sometimes it disturbs you because you are not there to support them, but they do it. So I see it as a sign that they trust you and that somehow they see in you the valuable adult who can be on their side.
Yeah, I think that after all, we spend 8 hours with them, more than they see their parents. And this figure of someone where the door is always open is very important, because often they don't have opportunity to speak at home, or they don't want to speak with their parents. So at least the culture that we're trying to create in the school is that they can share whatever they want. There will be no judgment, and some advice can be given, or just some listening ear.
But let me ask you in this way, do you think that part of your success as a teacher comes from the quality of the connection that you have with the students?
Absolutely. Very often I hear this remark, because they're the highest class, they're finishing school, and often
they're almost young adults already.
They already are young adults in their mind. They're old adults, but yeah. And I mean, never do they say, "Oh, Miss, I loved your lesson on, I don't know, Shakespeare." No. They said, you know, Miss, we always appreciated that whatever we wanted to share, you listened. You were always with a smile, that you were always fair and good with us. And even when we had a stupid question, you were happy to answer it. And I think that this is what we remember from school. At least this is my, my belief, that we have to teach them to be good adults.
Yes, yes.
This is the priority.
I'm very happy because with you and with many of your colleagues that came to this particular seminar, and also many other seminars throughout these 13 years, you somehow find the meaning of empathy, and you found the willingness to try it, to persist with developing the skill for it, and then finally, of course, you are reaping the rewards out of this. However, I see many teachers who are very skeptical about empathy in the classroom. They always say that the role of a teacher is to teach, not to be this empathic listener. What would you say to these teachers? How could they find inspiration out of this?
So I think that you're right, and even many of our teachers embrace empathy, the value of connection with the students. Of course, there are those who are cynical still. But I think if they're able to, normally I show them, to be honest, because no matter how much I can explain, things will be easier if you make a good connection. They have their mindset. They didn't accept it from you. They definitely won't accept from me. So normally I try to model this, to show them, to let them see the good relationships.
So it is more through seeing that it works that the motivation comes?
Maybe. I think, if you think about that, you can take the horse to water, but you can't make it drink. The same with students. No matter how much you may force mathematics into their minds, unless they're open to it, they won't accept it. So I think through modeling this good behavior with them is the first thing. So if you stay in one of my meetings with teachers, you'll see that, I listen, I'm understanding, and I think that this is the first step, to treat them with the empathy, and then hope that they start to feel that this is beneficial to them. And
actually, one of the first things I hope I told you at this first seminar is that teaching with empathy makes the connection, brings the connection prior to teaching. So first you connect and then you teach. And the connection is you build the bridge between you and the students, and then through this bridge you can transport the knowledge that you want to give them. Do you think it is always easy to do this?
No, not always. With some it comes more naturally. There are those who you automatically can make the connection, maybe you are similar, but we're in a school with many cultures. And probably this is one of the most challenging parts. In one classroom, I can have 20 different nationalities. For all these nationalities, they have a different appreciation of what is the role of the teacher and what is the role of the student.
And maybe also what is the role of connection, or how you connect.
Yeah, and with this connection, with this idea of what is the teacher, many of them believe that the teacher is there to teach them.
Okay.
And they're not open to maybe have a close connection. So in certain parts of the world, it's seen that the teacher should be removed, and parents expect this, students expect this. So when they meet myself or other teachers in the school, at first they find it maybe a little bit uncomfortable, because they're not used to have such a relationship with the teacher.
Yes.
But very quickly...
So it is not always seeked by
not
the
always seeked, exactly.
by the students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is probably one of the challenges. And after all, they're young adults, the ones that I'm teaching, and authority and teachers, parents, they're not always in the first place for connection.
Yes.
But
at the time you met, you were still not a mother, but your son Alex came up in these 13 years. So actually have also the experience of a parent who is raising a child with empathy.
Maybe this was even more challenging, because my experience with empathy was very much in a professional field. Of course, when you have a child, you have your own emotions and needs, which play maybe more of a role. And this balance between recognizing my needs, recognizing his needs at the same time, was more challenging, I think. But I was lucky that we had these parent academies.
Yes.
And these group meetings about different topics, raising children, dealing with difficult situations as a parent. And I remember you telling me, okay, acknowledge his feelings, acknowledge his emotion, and afterwards it will be easier, he will calm down, because he was, agitated about something.
Yeah.
And I said, Alex, I see that you're very frustrated right now. And he looked at me, Mommy, what are you talking about? But maybe he was young and it was a shock to go straight in with this statement. But really, when children are emotional and upset, especially when he was younger, it helped me a lot to take a step back, to think about, okay, where is he? Where am I? Let's make the communication flow.
What I always enjoy with you, and I also have other clients and friends like you, is that they try. Some people, they hear something and they wait for too long before they try it, but you're this type of action taker. You get an advice, I try it, and then maybe you have to adapt some of the things, because you're the one who is building the connection with your son.
And sometimes you forget the important detail. For sure, I forgot some important step and I went straight for I recognize you're frustrated right now. But it was very sweet, and I feel proud, because he is full of empathy. He is a child who feels deeply. He's very much connected with his emotions. And as a boy, 9 years old, I'm very pleased. I told you now that he was crying because we are selling a car which he loves. And I told him, okay, this is sad. Be sad. And he cried, Mom, I'm going to miss the car. Yes, you will. And this was really nice that he feels free to express his feelings. And I see that as a result of this...
He trusts you to express it.
And he doesn't now feel this frustration that I see in some other kids who maybe are not so free to express without judgment. So,
But please tell the whole story, because I find it very inspiring. How you let him drive the car before you sell it.
Because, material,
as a goodbye.
Material possessions, that children, they're very attached, and we were selling this American monster truck, which was kind of an ongoing joke between me and my husband, that this was a very sensible car. So, okay, I gave them their space. It's a boy and his dad. It's very important for them to have also this connection. And last week we were selling it, and he was very disappointed, Alex, that we'll sell it. He knows we have to. And finally I said, okay, you can take the day off school. Doesn't matter, you have an English exam, we'll arrange with the teacher, and you'll go and you will drive it and you will say goodbye. And he felt after this, first of all, very hurt, that this was important for him, and second of all, very cool. And he wore his camouflage outfit.
Oh, really?
And he's driving, and this will be forever, instead of a negative
experience,
a positive,
it's a memory.
A positive moment, where he was allowed to fulfill this dream to drive the monster truck.
But also it shows, I believe, that what parents find very difficult with empathy, that it requires flexibility. When we are open to be flexible and when we are open to change some plans so that we say yes to certain needs of the children, this becomes a lifelong memory out of it. Yeah. And not something that fills him with despair, they're selling my favorite car, but something, maybe it will be with this pride. I drove this car, yes, in the very last day before we sold it.
I think, yeah, exactly. And this flexibility is something that I've learned over time because previously maybe I would have said, no, the exam is more important. But this is more important for me. It's not more important for him.
Yeah.
And finally the result will be a poor result in the test because he won't be concentrated.
He'll be upset.
He'll be upset and no good will come out of it. So flexibility is something that we can't always manage to adopt fully in our lives, but the more we do.
And also, I believe that because you embraced empathy so much, at some point connection becomes more important than the result.
Definitely.
So somehow you wanted to have the good connection with him in front of his connection to learning and to the test. Yeah. Now you are having the teenage years coming with him and in your relationship with him. I hope that what you have built as a relationship up to now will help you because things radically change with the teenage years.
Yeah, and I also, one of my colleagues, she's also Emmy, and she said, oh, it was like he fell asleep and when he woke up a teenager, he had changed. She said he used to be just like Alex, but then he changed. And I thought, I hope that really this connection that we have will make the process easier.
I wish you so, for sure. I wish you so. Because it's a difficult period for teenagers and for parents as well, because of how the relationship changes and how much their independence require from them to distance themselves from their parents. Yeah. Okay, back to teaching. If you are in a position to share, I don't know, certain advices to people who want to teach with more empathy, based from all your big experience in years and with international setting, with many nationalities, what could this be?
So I think first of all, go with an open mind. When you enter in an exchange with students, don't try to avoid your biases and prejudgments about students. I think as well, it's very important just simply to listen. Because when we go with automatically, as teachers, we love to talk, So it's important sometimes not to talk, but just to sit and listen and to tell students that if you want, just talk and see where the conversation goes, because very often it goes in a direction which you can't imagine or you don't know about. And I think that this is the way really to make a good connection with students when they are just able to release what they have inside. And I think the other thing is, to remember that these are young people and our responsibility is to be good role models. More recently also to teach them also to put good boundaries.
Yes.
Sometimes I used to think that it was important always to have the door open all the time. But also it's important to show them that sometimes, no, I'm busy right now. Can you come later? Yes, I can. And I think that this is another good piece of advice for teachers. Yes. We don't have to be always and everything, but to be consistent.
What I remember from my years as a student is that some of the teachers, I didn't see them as teachers. I don't remember them as subjects that they were teaching me, but I remember them as characteristics, as I don't know, specific way of relating or of listening. And I believe that teachers have this, could be, these special grown-ups in the lives of many children. And I always thought that if they stick to this, how I can be remembered as something good, which this child now, but an adult in few years can take on and carry for the rest of their life. It changes the way that teachers see their role. Because it is not about teaching, it's about seeing a grown-up who might inspire you to be like them or to somehow take some of the qualities and develop them in yourself.
And you do remember those teachers who, at least for me, maybe, like you said, you remember those personal relationships. And I had several, one when I was finishing primary school and then in my secondary school. And they were really ladies who were kind. They were also very human. I remember one of my teachers, she used to bring her son often in the class because maybe he was sick or he was still very young, I don't know. She would always bring us one box of biscuits and the coffee pot. And these small gestures...
She brings life into the classroom.
Yeah, exactly. These small gestures. And it was funny, she used to sometimes take the biscuits from the staff room. And she would say, don't tell everyone that we're eating the staff's biscuits. But this kind of, this was very important. And I try in the same way to do this with the kids. Some of them were helping me now.
So even she inspired you in how to
exactly. I had to make some observed lessons for one of my qualifications, and I asked 6 of the kids if they can be my students. Yeah. And they played very well. They were disciplined. They did the activities, and they really helped me. And afterwards, I came with some small bar of chocolate for each of them, and I said thank you. Really, thank you. And one of the boys said, wow, miss, I didn't expect that.
Oh.
And it was, again, not because of the chocolate, but because of the thanks.
The gesture.
The gesture they appreciated very much. So I hope that they remember these things, how they felt, and then to give to the others in the same way.
Yes, yes. You know that we are filming this series as part of a big forum devoted to 25 years of this empathy and nonviolent communication in Bulgaria. Sadly, you will not be at the forum most probably, but you are very warmly invited. So if you want to come, please, I'd be very happy that you join. What could you say to the people who will join the forum or who are wondering about to join the forum or not?
I think I would warmly suggest that they enter with open minds and open hearts. Because certainly I haven't met yet a person who didn't hear you speak and didn't feel inspired in some way.
Thank you.
Every time, like I said, we have these parent academies or different sessions, you see people leaving with a smile and a relief. Because even though we all know that we are not communicating always in the perfect way, when we speak with you and hear your advice, somehow the things are put in a good order. So yeah, I would definitely recommend. And if I can't be in person, I will be definitely in mind and in some streaming way. I hope I will be able to.
We are thinking about streaming it, so if this happens, for sure I will let you know. And do you want anything else to say in the end, to add something that I missed maybe?
No, I think just that really in professional, personal life, this communicating with empathy, it's a process, and it's not a matter of simply reading some methodology and it being done. It's really something that we grow with, and in every stage of our life it will change. So it's nice to have someone like you to help us on that journey.
Gladly.
Yeah.
Gladly, yes.
So
thank you, Naomi.